So we were walking to school.
I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really want
smart.
cheese pizza.
Sometimes her mind wanders.
We should have a sleepover.
I remember saying, Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
I really hope she doesn't have
I really
another
hope I
bad
don't
day
have
at
another
school
bad day at
today.
school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for coming here this evening. I'm Ann Mullen with the George Gunn Foundation, my colleague Helen Williams with the Cleveland Foundation, and we are joined by our two colleagues, Dave Abbott and India Pierce-Lee. We are really excited to be here. I want to give a special thank you to Katie Brennan. Katie, where are you? Katie really stepped in to do a lot of work during my leave of absence, and I have hardly ever met anyone as detailed as I am, except for Katie. So I'm very excited that she worked for this, so thank you, Katie. We are so excited to celebrate with these excellent teachers here tonight. Our two foundations have been long-time supporters of Cleveland schools, dating back decades. And Helen and I have been personally involved in schools since, I don't know,
Let's not say.
Okay, decades. We are also longtime residents of the city. We take this work very seriously. I have children in the Cleveland schools, and I know for a fact that Helen is already scouting schools for her 2-year-old grandson, who she's trying to lure from New York City. So we really care about the work here. The Excellence in Teaching Award was a shared idea among our two foundations and the Cleveland Teachers Union and the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. We all came at it at slightly different angles, but we wanted really the same thing. Most of our investments have been targeted in new schools and central office infrastructure, and we really wanted a way to directly reach teachers, those who are in the classroom every single day. The Cleveland Metropolitan School District was interested in recruiting and keeping top talent in the district where we need it so badly. And the Cleveland Teachers Union was really interested in, they knew we have great things going on in our schools, but they're largely hidden, and they wanted to really shine light on them. So we came together. This is our 3rd year of the Excellence in Teaching Award. Some of our winners from the previous 2 years are here. Would you stand up if you are a previous Excellence in Teaching Award winner? Woo! Thank you, and thank you for coming. This award is intended to recognize CMSD teachers who demonstrate instructional expertise and excellence in their classroom, who make learning lively, engaging, and fun for children. So thank you very much.
So the Excellence in Teaching Award selection process is both robust and inclusive. This year, 133 teachers were nominated from 72 schools. Nominated teachers were all invited to pursue the award, which required a teacher reflection, an endorsement from their principal, and an endorsement from a colleague of their choosing. All completed applications were then read and rated by a diverse group of reviewers from pre-K to 12, higher ed, philanthropy, and the broader community. Each completed application had the teacher's name redacted and was read by 3 different reviewers. The top scores were then reviewed by a smaller team who identified the 10 winners of the Excellence in Teaching Award we are honoring this evening. These teachers will receive a beautiful art piece, an actual physical award, and a $5,000 check, and have committed to sharing their practice with their peers in the 2018-19 school year and beyond. These awards were made possible with grant funding from the George Gunn Foundation and the Cleveland Foundation. In order to meet the goal of the Cleveland Plan, ensuring every child in Cleveland attends a high-quality school and every neighborhood has a multitude of schools of high-quality schools from families that families can choose from, we must have exemplary teachers, and we do have exemplary teachers, as evidenced by tonight's honorees. On behalf of the George Gund Foundation and the Cleveland Foundation, we want to thank you, the honorees, for the work you do every day to bring the joy of discovery and learning to the children of our city. I'd like to welcome Monica Price, Chief Officer of Education, who would like to congratulate our winners and bring greetings from Mayor Frank Jackson.
Good evening, everyone. As Helen said, my name is Monica Price. I'm the Chief of Education for the City of Cleveland. And on behalf of the mayor, I am delighted to be here this evening with you tonight as we recognize the 10 teachers for their excellence in teaching. Mayor Jackson was supposed to be here tonight. He sends his regrets. He actually, David said to me this evening, he said, you know, I know the mayor loves being here, and so is he okay? He's okay, but unfortunately something unexpected came up and he was not able to be with us this evening. I would like to thank the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, the Cleveland Teachers Union, the Cleveland and Gund Foundations for spearheading this annual event and valuing our teachers. I often say we know that education is the key. It's the foundation and the gateway to one's success. And speaking as a former teacher, I know how challenging and rewarding your jobs are every single day. The children of Cleveland want and need excellent teachers. And the single most important individual in our schools for our student scholars are our teachers. Teachers like all of you. Your assets to our schools and to our city. And your commitment, passion, and professionalism are appreciated by your students, their families, your colleagues, and many more of us. Every day you make a difference, and to impart knowledge and provide the tools for our student scholars so that they are poised and prepared for their futures is one of the most honorable deeds and professions. And for that, we thank you, and congratulations again to all of you.
Thank you, Monica. Now please welcome Eric Gordon, CEO of the Cleveland Municipal School District, and David Kolke, President of the Cleveland Teachers Union, to share some of their thoughts.
Thank you and good evening, everyone. I really want to extend my thanks and my appreciation to the Cleveland Foundation and the Gund Foundation for their incredible support in making this event happen. And I really want to give a shout out to both Ann and Helen. I've been in this district for 35 years, and we've done a very poor job over those years of really recognizing the great teachers we've had in this district. Through Ann and Helen's incredible advocacy for our school and our educators, it was their drive that really made this happen. So I just want to commend them, and I think we all owe them a great deal of thanks. You know, and it's wonderful to be here and talk with each and every one of you, congratulate you, and celebrate this fantastic event. Each one of you does a remarkable job with our kids that you teach. An outstanding job that is recognized by your students, your colleagues, and their families. We have so many great teachers all throughout this district. We're proud to be able to recognize your work and to help shine a bright spotlight on each and every one of you. Each of you does an exemplary job in the classroom that we all want your impact on kids to be as broad as possible. That's why sharing your practice portion of this event is so important. The outside the box, or the tried and true, or the organizational or community building that you do and that you share with your colleagues can multiply your impact across this district. Your commitment to sharing those practices is just another way that you exemplify excellence in teaching. Tonight we are here to honor, to celebrate, and to appreciate each and every one of you. You each have demonstrated the highest level of instructional expertise, creativity, and innovation in your classroom. This is a great pleasure for me to be here and applaud each and every one of you. So on behalf of the Cleveland Teachers Union, I want to thank you. I want to congratulate you for all the great work you do for Cleveland, our schools, and our communities, and most importantly, our kids. Thank you, and enjoy yourselves this evening.
Good evening. Okay, now we can do better than that. This is a celebration. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, good evening. I am also really excited to be here on behalf of the district. We have many of our board members here also to celebrate with you this evening. I guess what I want to say is that I and we know that we ask you to do so much with so little for kids who need it the very most. And so when we were putting this experience together, we wanted to go far beyond, here's your certificate, here's an award, but we wanted you to have an experience. And so I too think we should thank the Gund and Cleveland Foundations for letting us have this beautiful experience this evening to award 10 excellent teachers. So let's thank them. So this is our third year of this experience, and we have 5,800 educators, 3,000 teachers, and 10 of you will be awarded tonight. I am really glad that I don't have to sit on that selection committee because that means you represent the top 1/3% of the teacher educators in the Cleveland schools. So we really need to celebrate these 10 honorees tonight. That is huge, huge, huge. What has become true for me is even though we have 3,000 teachers, 5,800 educators across 104 buildings, every year when we get the list, there are names of classroom teachers that I know, that I've seen teach, that I know why they were selected as excellent. And every year I also get to meet others that I hadn't yet seen in practice. This has become not only an event for the year, but then through your contributions, it's also allowed us to nominate our very best teachers for the State Teaching Award. And actually, we have a member, I'm going to ask her to stand, who was our Northeast Region Teacher of the Year for the state of Ohio out of last year's teaching class. So when we know how to spot talent, U10, we know how to spot talent. So congratulations to all of you. Congratulations to your families. To your families, thank you for letting us have these excellent men and women in our classrooms. I know what it, I know being a spouse of an educator comes with a whole bunch of extra drama. But we appreciate it. I appreciate it on behalf of the district. Congratulations, everyone. I look forward to awarding you.
You know, Ann and I are getting a lot of credit for this event, and our foundations are in a position to support this event financially and to support the awards financially. But this is more than just what you see here. And two of our colleagues who are part of the planning committee, Tracy Radich from the Cleveland Teachers Union and Jacqueline Brown from Cleveland Municipal School District, have worked every step of the way. And they're here tonight to really give you a glimpse about why these 10 teachers are the 2018 Teaching and Excellence Award winners. Excellence in Teaching Award winners. Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Tracy and I are so excited to have the honor of introducing you to the 2018 Excellence in Teaching Award winners. Yeah, let's clap it up. So as partners, representatives from the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, the Cleveland Teachers Union, the George Gunn Foundation, and the Cleveland Foundation went into schools and into the classrooms of these teachers to surprise them, to let them know that they were winners. And I have to say that that was probably one of the most exciting days that I've had on the job. We were together in this van with balloons, and we got out with excitement. It was kind of like the Publishers Clearinghouse Prize Patrol, you know? And that's probably as close as I'll ever get to that. But it was amazing seeing the looks on the students' faces, seeing the excitement in the administrators, seeing the excitement in the colleagues of the teachers, of the winners. There was just an atmosphere of excitement, and it really drove home the point that the teachers that are being awarded tonight are teachers that are making a difference in their buildings.
We want to be able to give you a glimpse of what it is like to be in the classroom of our award winners. Nominators, colleagues, and administrators have described for us what our winners are like in their schools. As we call up each winner, we will share some of the excerpts that were said about them in their nomination. So without any further delay, I'd like to invite our first winner, Brett Bash, to come up to the stage. Brett has taught in the Cleveland Metropolitan School District for 4 years. I cannot think of anyone who is more universally respected by students, staff, and administrators than Mr. Bache. He has created 2 positive, engaging work environments for his students. His students in health have fantastic access to technology due to several grants that Mr. Bache has been awarded. Students create their own instructional videos, collect health and fitness-related data, use the cardio room, and connect sports, just to name a few of the innovative ways that Mr. Bache engages students in learning. Mr. Bache sets a positive tone for the school as a whole, and he is always interested in supporting other teachers and every single one of our BARD students. The entire BARD community is lucky to have Mr. Bache. He is absolutely fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the absolutely fantastic Brett Bache, physical education and health teacher at Bard Early College.
Sarah Burdette, if you would come to the stage, please. Mrs. Burdette has a warm, inviting, and safe space for all of her students to learn and grow. She's taught in the Cleveland Metropolitan School District for 22 years. She is the most loving, kind-hearted, compassionate person. One of the things that stands out about Mrs. Burdette is her ability to build relationships with her students and with their families. I hear her constantly singing and praising her little lady learners. Students in her class beam with confidence, strength, and new knowledge. They are thoroughly prepared for future success. Come walk into Ms. Burdette's room. It will make you smile. Plus, her students have the greatest jobs ever. Children at Douglas MacArthur are so lucky to have their first experience in a school setting with such a loving and nurturing teacher. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Sarah Burdette, preschool teacher at Douglas MacArthur Girls Leadership Academy.
Josette Compton, come on up. Josette Compton has taught in the Cleveland Metropolitan School District for 2 years. Ms. Compton's classroom is lively and a lively and engaging work environment. Ms. Compton brings English language arts content to life by teaching her students to live with the text. She differentiates lessons to meet students where they are and bring them along rapidly. When one enters Ms. Compton's classroom, one immediately sees creative products her students have made. everything from paintings to filmed skits to word walls to computer animations. Her students are inspiring artists, filmmakers, and designers who are matched in their creativity by their instructor. She is someone that everyone trusts and goes to for advice. Ms. Compton knows her content area, oozes passion, has high expectation, and her students grow. Ms. Compton is amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the amazing Josette Compton, 9th grade English language arts teacher at Cleveland High School for Digital Arts.
Dan Ogilvy, please make your way to the stage. Dan Ogilvy has taught for 17 years in the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. Mr. Ogilvy is organized and resourceful and works hard to build strong relationships with students and families to personalize instruction. Mr. Ogilvy believes that learning must be hands-on and project-based. And if you don't have the resources, write a grant, find a sponsor, create many donors choose accounts, but find a way to make it happen for the children. Lucky are the students that have Mr. Ogilvy, the teacher that makes learning to ride a bike, 3D printing, robotics, an Indians game, field trips, and more a reality in preschool. Every day is filled with energy, stability, and a quest for learning when working with Mr. Ogilvy. When in Mr. Ogilvy's presence, one instinctively wants to reach a higher level. His students have an undeniable advantage as they begin their educational careers. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Dan Ogilvy, preschool teacher at Garfield Elementary.
Leslie Perry Hanley. Leslie Perry Hanley has taught for 21 years in the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. Mrs. Perry Hanley is a truly amazing teacher. She is a thoughtful teacher whose classroom environment is inviting, warm, and student-centered. Mrs. Perry Hanley is an incredible English language arts teacher that ignites a love of reading for her students and finds innovative ways to take what is taught and make it personal and unforgettable. It is not uncommon to see her students in the hallway reading the latest novel they are covering in class. She is an inspiration. Students in Mrs. Perry Hanley's classroom are appreciated, respected, and cared for. She has made it her mission to ensure students become better readers, better thinkers, and better citizens. Mrs. Perry Hanley is one of those persons you want on your team and in the classroom. Think about who you want teaching your child, and you will think of Leslie Perry Hanley. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Leslie Perry Hanley, 9th grade English language arts teacher at Cleveland School of Architecture and Design.
Damaris Sanchez, come on down. Damaris Sanchez has taught for 4 years in the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. Ms. Sanchez has created a classroom that is full of hope, love, support, and laughter. She supports the needs of her students by providing sheltered instructional strategies, while at the same time holding her students to high expectations, academically and social-emotionally as well. Ms. Sanchez is the true definition of a lifelong learner. She makes every effort to learn about her students before they even walk into her classroom for the first time. She greets each child with a smile and a hug each day as they enter her classroom. She places her students first and always asks herself, how does this benefit my students? Students want to come to school and be in her classroom to experience teaching and learning at its finest. Ms. Sanchez is the true embodiment of what it means to be a teacher and always goes the extra mile. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Damaris Sanchez, second grade teacher at Clark Elementary.
Stacy Smith. Stacy Smith has taught for 19 years in the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. Stacy Smith is an outstanding educator who brings compassion, fun, enthusiasm, and energy to her classroom with a fantastic sense of humor. Mrs. Smith creates a classroom of excellence, responsibility, learning, and respect. The relationships that she has with parents are up close and personal, with the scholar as the focal point. Mrs. Smith's classroom environment says, hello, welcome. And once you are in Mrs. Smith's world, learning is inevitable. Mrs. Smith is amazing. Mrs. Smith demonstrates her expertise in every single content area taught. She not only knows how to meet the students where they are, but challenges them to reach new heights, and they do. I would want my own children to be in Mrs. Smith's class. Every parent would. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Stacy Smith, fourth grade teacher at Willow Elementary.
Lisa Sweat, please make your way to the stage. Lisa Sweat has taught for 28 years in the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. She goes above and beyond for her students in every way possible. She remains constant and focused while promoting active learning. From her decorations, which I saw firsthand, to her centers, to routines, and so much more, anyone can come into her class and feel loved and educated. Ms. Sweat helps to create a sense of family within the building by helping students, teachers, and staff. Ms. Sweat is constantly and consistently finding ways to engage, enhance, and educate her students. She is always one of the last to leave the building, because she has to leave, and is a driving force in student learning. If I am able to become half of the teacher that she is, I'll consider myself privileged to have been able to have an opportunity to learn from her. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Lisa Sweat, TESOL teacher at Marist East Southwest.
Michael Shelkowski. Michael Shelkowski has taught in the Cleveland Metropolitan School District for 19 years. Mr. Shelkowski is the only Excellence in Teaching winner that you can see in action working with his students in the classroom, in the kitchen, in the restaurant, or in the Jane Addams food truck. And the only one whose outcomes are also delicious. Mr. Shalkowski has extensive culinary industry background and tirelessly challenges his students to master their craft. It is really inspiring to see how he manages to balance allowing students to create while still managing to steer them away from pitfalls that can often arise in a kitchen. Mr. Shalkowski's work with our Jane Addams students in the classroom, the kitchen, the grill, and the food truck have created an environment where our students want to be and prospective students want to attend to be a part of the excitement. It is a joy to be able to watch Mr. Shalkowski's students shine and grow. His enthusiasm is contagious. He is a wonderful human being and brings light to our entire building. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Michael Shalkowski, Career Technical Culinary Teacher Extraordinaire at Jane Addams Business Career Center.
And Tamara Zelwyn, if you would come forward, please. Tamara Zelwyn has taught for 21 years in the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. She is the most ingenious teacher that I have ever worked with. I am continually amazed by Ms. Zelwyn's creativity, knowledge, and commitment to the profession of teaching and every one of her students. She embraces problem-based learning and always tries to integrate real-life experience into her math lessons while differentiating lessons. There are countless innovative ways that Ms. Zelwyn engages the students at Orchard STEM. The Genius Hour, the Engineering Club, Coding a Sphero, and 3D painting PBL projects are just some of the innovative ways Ms. Zelwyn engages the students. Ms. Zelwyn is the kind of teacher that others aspire to be like. She is the teacher that inspires all kids to challenge themselves and learn more than they can imagine. I have worked with many great Cleveland teachers, but none as dedicated as Tamara Zelwyn. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Tamara Zelwyn, 6th to 8th grade math teacher at Orchard School of Science.
Another round of applause for our fantastic winners. And thank you to our host committee. You can have a seat. So you've heard about these fantastic teachers, and now what we want to do is to show you some live action of what they look like in their classroom. So make sure you can see one of the 3 screens here, and let's roll the video.
Mr. Beige has been with us for the last 3 years, and when he came to our school, he really filled a big void. He, comes in and he's always willing to go. You can see him after teaching 4 classes, he'll still be in the gym playing basketball with the students and really kind of working with them. He's a mentor to many of our students and really a support system for a lot of them.
I love my job a lot because it's a lot of fun. So like in physical education, I get to participate in some of the activities with the students. You kind of realize that you can have a very big impact just by doing some of the little things with some of the students here. So that's what really drives me every single day, is just knowing that I'm in a position where I can help shape people's future.
Sarah Burdett is truly the most compassionate and loving person. She has the patience of a saint. I once had a parent told me that she is a gift from God. She's just so loving and is great at building relationships with her students and her families.
Every day I wake up and I'm so excited to get to school and teach my students and just form those relationships and get them excited to learn. and they tell me, "I love you, Mrs. Burdette," just letting them know how safe and loved they are in school helps them want to be at school more.
Josette Compton deserves this award because she sets goals for herself constantly. It's really, really refreshing to see a teacher who, teaches with such mastery, but still remain super reflective of their own practice.
What drives me as an educator is really a curiosity about the world and really trying to get my students to see that the world presents a lot of different possibilities for them. I'm trying to get them excited about learning and to look at their curiosity as something that should keep them alive as opposed to feeling afraid of being curious.
What makes Dan an amazing teacher is the way he interacts with his students, the students of Cleveland, the families. He's been in our district for almost 20 years, and in that time, every year, he has brought something new to the table.
I would want to be an innovator for the kids because then I think we could have a ripple effect with the pre-K program. Being creative, be innovative, try new things, be a trailblazer, because I think my job is to make their first experience in school awesome so that they enjoy coming to school. And I think by doing innovative things, you can hook the kids in, and then you lay the foundation for the rest of their school.
I would describe Leslie Perry Hanley as a compassionate educator, as a thoughtful educator, as an advocate for students. She taps into various learning styles of her students.
What drives me as an educator, it starts from being a parent. The fact that, I want my kids to be somewhere getting a great education, I want to do the same for someone else's children. They know that my room is kind of a place of safety and peace and refuge for them, and so because of that, because we have a good relationship outside of the class, we have one inside of the class.
Mrs. Sanchez is definitely a teacher that I would 100% put my own child in her classroom. She is the teacher that welcomes her students on a daily basis. She is making sure she's meeting the individualized needs of each of the students, their likes, their dislikes. She focuses on the social and emotional learning aspect of her students and makes that a top priority.
I am an English language learner myself, and I learned English when I was roughly started learning it at school. I know the experience, I know what it takes to learn the language. I want to make my students happy, but also I like to provide them with a structured learning environment where they can learn and be happy at the same time.
What makes Stacy such an amazing teacher is that when you walk into her classroom, you are just engulfed. Like you go in there and you're immediately drawn into her lesson. She just has a love for teaching and the scholars when they're learning. I know that our scholars are going to reach their goals when they're in her classroom.
I would definitely say that I'm driven as an educator in the success of all my students. I want them each to have some kind of success, and they know that my expectations are high for them, and they try to reach those expectations. So even if they're not having such a great day, it's my job to motivate and inspire them.
Ms. Sweat is an extraordinary teacher. You can walk into her classroom and immediately feel the energy and the enthusiasm for learning with her students and with her. And she teaches students that as family members, you have each other's back. Sometimes you have disagreements, but that's part of being a family, but at the end of the day, we care for each other.
What pushes me, motivates me, this is a very important job. I have friends that teach in suburbs. This job is still 100 times more challenging, but it's way more rewarding. For me, I want this to be the best place for my kids to come. What I would think my biggest drive is just trying to make my school proud.
Michael has worked hard to establish this program here at Jane Addams. He has been here for over 20 years working He takes the time to mentor each child, and I think that's it. It's that passion that comes through with everything he does.
In culinary arts, the career tech field, I have the ability to approach education in many ways. Everyone comes in, no matter if you're the best reader or the smartest in math, you can achieve something in this program. If it's anything from customer service all the way to being an executive chef, there's a spot for you within this field.
Tammy is such an amazing teacher because I think that she never lost the idea that education should be fun. I am really honored to work with her. In fact, I think she makes me a better principal and our school a better building just by knowing her and knowing where her values lie for kids. She definitely sets the tone for excellence in teaching.
This award means so much to me. I'm just humbled. I'm super humbled by it. I am honored. I am really driven by my students' passion and their innovation and their creativity. I love my team. I love the people that I work with, and I love the bigger picture of them going out into the community and doing something productive.
That is awesome. I have watched that video so many times. I love it every time. I want to ask all of the principals of the schools represented here and these award winners to stand up for a moment, because without you, your teachers might not be here. In fact, they wouldn't be here because they need your robust endorsement. So please stand. Recognize. Thank you. Thank you. So all of you have a job tonight. This video and these teachers are all featured on the Excellence in Teaching Award website, which is teachexcellenceaward.org. It's on the back of your book. And your job and my job is to not rest until the whole community, when they think about Cleveland Public Schools, they think about this. They think about these amazing teachers. They think about our incredible kids in these great schools led by great leaders and in a stable and supportive school district. That is your job, to change the narrative out there. When people hear Cleveland Public Schools, Cleveland Municipal School District, Cleveland Metropolitan School District, we want them to think about this, and we want them to think, how do we get more kids in there? How do we get our kids in that school? So that is your charge. If we could have our winners stand one more time, everyone, final round of applause. The party is just beginning.